Hello, everybody, and thank you. Again, thank you for signing up for this customer service certification program. This is quite amazing. It's going to be a tedious journey. It may not be long per se, but it's going to be tedious. Right? Let me manage your expectation here. Your thought process will be challenged, right? Your understanding will be dissected, if you will, and literally reorient your mind. If you know anything about me, Alex Ihama, the global strategist, professional speaker. I've been to so many organizations and government and schools and so many countries and cities around the world doing what I do best, what I was born to do, and that was to ignite transformation, the transformation of humans, the transformation of organizations, and the transformation of nations. In fact, in 2 days' time, I'll be speaking to a delegate of heads of state in UN, United Nations sponsored program, and captains of industry. But it won't be about cost. It'll be about national transformation. But in this particular episode you're watching, this particular model, this is the introduction to customer service. And I believe that if you're watching this, you've already watched the introduction to the certification program, where I talked about the modules that will be teaching you in this exciting program, I must say. Now, let me introduce you to customer service. Why don't I pass the ball to you? What is customer service? In the introduction to the program, I talked about how I've had these conversations with Fortune 500 CEOs, and I've had this with people whose salary are like $2-3 million a year, or some go home with a bonus of $1 million every Christmas, and yet struggle to define customer service. How would you define it? How would you define customer service? If somebody was to ask you today, how would you define it? Like, listen, one of my first jobs decades ago was a customer service rep. I still say, it was the least paid job I've ever had, but I still say it was one of my most exciting jobs. It was my exciting time for people to be calling. I was working for a bank, and they'll be calling to ask for their customer, their bank statement, or calling to say they have a discrepancy in their account, or calling to say their credit card device is not working, calling to say different issues. Some just call and in some cases don't even know why they're calling, right? So, and what often happens in that center, if a new rep, if they hire a new representative, they just say, okay, you, Alex, train this person, right? And so the person is listening to the call. But I've examined the training curriculum in most organizations, and even in some training organizations, and this is not me saying, they have actually looked at us and say, amazing. That's it. One word, amazing. Another word, revolutionary. So customer service, here's a definition for you to make a note of. This will be on the quiz, by the way, so I hope you're making a note. There are going to be quizzes. You'll have time to go back and watch the video, but if you don't want to be doing that all the time to answer your question, then you want to ensure that you're taking note. I believe customer service is the basic expectation of support for your client. The basic expectation, the basic expression of support for your client, for those who've put their trust in you. So, you can send them letters, you can send them flowers, but until you deliver an exceptional customer service, you have not expressed your appreciation. You've not expressed your support. You've not even expressed your interest. And as I said in the introduction to the program, you may be guilty of extortion. Right? So when you take money from somebody, promise them service, say buy this phone or buy this car or buy this whatever, and I promise you service, and then now when they have an issue and call you and they don't get the service, yes, maybe you answer the phone. That's not customer service. I've had people confuse answering the phone with customer service. That's not customer service, right? So maybe you answer the phone, but they left that call even more confused. Then you are guilty of extortion. I'm serious, you are guilty. Now, you may go to court and it may not hold water, but listen, guilt will trouble the spirit of that organization. I'm really holding myself back from citing organizations that are not going to be in just a few years because of their porous customer service. In fact, as I'm speaking to you right now, one of the biggest banks in a particular nation, probably the third, I sent a request through, it's been 3 weeks to have my phone number changed in that country, right? So I have international numbers. So when I go to Africa, I have an African number I use when I'm in North America and stuff like that. So we have all these numbers. So to ask them to change it, the first they say I should fax. Who still uses fax today? Come on. I should, okay, fine. I did. I photocopied my passport, right? My Canadian passport, I photocopied it. They said I should write a letter, and I wrote it, and I signed it, and I faxed it, and I followed up, and I called, and I emailed. And that transaction I wanted to do with that bank, I have moved it. I moved it to another bank. But I don't want to close that account because I still need that account. But as I'm doing this video, no response. The only twice I've heard back from them, it was me following up. Come on. You want me to define customer service to you? I just did with the example I just gave you. That's porous. That's not service. They answer the phone when I call. They follow up when I follow up. And they ask me to put me through hell, basically, to write a letter, sign it, scan it, fax it. And yet the number is still not changed, right? The number is still not changed. So customer service, as I say, is the least expression, the basic expression of your support and appreciation to your client. Basic. Like, they are going to ask for more things. They are going to ask for things you can't even do. But the least is you can at least give them service. So this is a short introduction to the concept of customer service. Customer service is a pillar of an organization. In fact, it's the foundation of the organization. Because no matter, I tell people this, right? Sales rep, I often say I love speaking to sales reps and to leaders and things, but I tell them, I say, sales and marketing, they spend billions of dollars in sales and marketing, is worthless if that organization don't spend as much money to ensure customer service. Customer service is a thing of the mind, right? If you've gone through some of our programs, you know that I often break the necessities or what you need, the skill set you need, the attributes, if you will, to excel in the corporate and personal world into three. One is mindset, two is skill set, three is tool set. Customer service cut across them. You must first have a mindset of service. You could have a master's degree in Harvard University, doesn't give you the mindset of service. And we'll be talking more about that when we get to the characteristics of an exceptional customer service agent, right? We'll be talking about that. So the mindset, then the skill set, there are skill sets to do this. We'll be talking more about that under the module for the 7 organic laws of exceptional service, and then the tool set. The tool set we'll talk more about in the Beyond Service module, which is the last module in the certification program. So I hope with this short video, it's reoriented your mindset with regards to service. It's not just answering the call. It's not just showing up for work. It's not just having a call center. It's none of those. Service is an expression. Customer service is the least form of expression of gratitude and support for those who've put their trust in you, those who've trusted you, they've bought into your service, into your program, into your course, and they at least deserve to be appreciated and to be respected. So that's the short module introduction to customer service. There'll be some quizzes. Like I say, please go ahead and do those quizzes, and hopefully you took some notes to answer that. We'll keep this video short as much as possible and the quizzes short as much as possible, but very profound and very intense. The next module you'll be going into now is when we'll be talking about the benefits of customer service. Thanks again for signing up for this program. I'm so excited to see the ratings, how this is going to reflect in the customer satisfaction surveys in your organization. See you in the next module.